Thai and his siblings grew up in a Hanoi slum. His mother sold tea on a bridge that overlooked the market where his father worked. When Thai was 9 years old, his father was arrested for extortion. To make ends meet, Thai's mother started selling heroin, and she was arrested about a year later. With both parents in prison, Thai and his siblings were sent to an orphanage. They couldn't leave this institution, so they felt like they were in a jail of their own. When Thai's mother was released from jail, she worked hard so that the family could buy a home. She made enough money to buy a houseboat that they would share with another family. But before they could move in, there was a fire, and members of the other family died. It was around this time that Thai first found out about Blue Dragon Children's Foundation. Blue Dragon works day and night with children in crisis, children who are living in extreme poverty or are victims of human trafficking and abuse. My own life has been an adventure that in some ways mirrors what the kids have been through. There was a time when I didn't have a home. My family lived in caravans on a block of land. We lived in poverty. I grew up in poverty. And so when I got to Hanoi and I saw these kids, I actually felt a real resonance with them. I felt that they were going through something that I had been through. I'd never been a street kid, but I had grown up knowing hardship, knowing poverty, and just dreaming of an education and a better life. The way we work is not about just parachuting into the kids' lives and fixing some problem and then moving on to the next one. We're there for the long term with the kids. We ask ourselves, what do they really need from us? Now, for some kids that means just going to school and having a place to live. For some it can mean having a psychologist or having a lawyer. For all of the kids, it means having someone who genuinely cares about them. Blue Dragon rescues kids in crisis every day. We meet them in sweatshops, on the streets, in brothels, or in gold mines, all sorts of unimaginable situations for children to be in. And Blue Dragon never gives up on a child who needs us. We might help someone out of difficulty, and a few days later they're on their way, they don't need us anymore. Other kids might need us for years, like Thai has. So we become part of their lives and grow with them. That's the beauty of Blue Dragon. Thai has been coming to Blue Dragon for 10 years now, and despite all of the distractions in his life, Thai stayed in school. And when Thai's mother returned to prison for a second time, he took on the responsibility of providing for and looking after his siblings. Thai has been inspired by his social worker at Blue Dragon, and he wants to return to us as a social worker himself. Thai works at a bar during the night and goes to school in the morning. And even though this routine leaves him exhausted, he recently became the first in his family and among his peers to graduate from high school. The future is bright for Thai. Blue Dragon is a family. We are here to protect, to nurture, to love, to give guidance and hope, to walk the path from darkness to light, and to rekindle what it is and what it feels like to be a child. We can't help anybody at Blue Dragon if we don't have a relationship with them. We have to get to know them, to understand them, and for them to also get to know us. And that's what anybody can do. Anybody who wants to change the world or change their little part of the world has to start out by looking internally, looking at who they are, what they believe, and asking how can they work with people around them to make their part of the world a little bit better. That's what Blue Dragon does in Vietnam, and it's what we want to see people doing all around this world.